Hey, great night to you all. I trust that you were all able to wake up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I trust that you've all set your high vibe by telling yourself all of those amazing things that you need to hear. Like you're strong, you're smart, you're beautiful, you are capable, and you're going to flow. Feeling that love over worry and flowing from that state like water over rocks with ease and great force, yet least effort. Well, I got a couple of questions, I guess, from my live. So I figured, I better come out and answer them. Yes. So somebody said to me, Tobi, you really don't look like there's anything that's happening to you that's hindering you. Actually, it's not hindering me. Everything that happens for me is for my highest good. And somebody asked me, Tobi, are you dying? I said, you know what? I'm not that lucky. I said, I'm not that lucky. No. You see, it's not what happens to us. It's the story that we attach to it. I have walked so much in my life that the only thing that I can see is the bigger picture of things. Yeah. There's always a bigger picture. And I have to live whatever I have to live so that I can experience whatever I must and push forward with joy and excitement and discovery. I feel I'm blessed that I've actually been able to love myself back to life time and time and time again. And that's why I stand on the flow concept, feeling that love over any type of worry. And how do you really do that? Well, you remain as the observer. That's how you really grab the depth of any learning, because really there is no good or bad. That's the part of the story that we attach to it. And that's what causes the fluctuation of the highs and lows. Yeah. Is our, oh, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Oh, it's the reaction to whatever's happening. You don't have to have a reaction. So what's happening with me in my face? It's already happened on the other side. I already know what's going on. So therefore, because of the previous experience, listen, I'm not worried. I don't flow like that. No. And this is why I tell everybody, live your last, every day like it's your last. Tomorrow's not promised to any single one of us. So did you make the most out of today? Did you do everything that your heart desired today? How do you feel? Because that's all that really matters. Is that you owned your love and you did the things that you love to do in your experience. And you remain neutral to everything else and observed. Because, as long as you're having a feeling or an opinion or a story attached to anything, you're not seeing the bigger picture of it. And it's crazy because my mom, I was having a chat with her today after work, and she had said to me, so what are you going to do tonight? And I said, well, I'm just going to sit in silence after. I really like to enjoy, I sit in silence and stillness. And she said, are you going to listen to your frequencies? Because I regulate with frequencies all the time. I assist my body to realign and to regulate by listening to frequencies. But I was telling her, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I just need to sit in silence tonight. Yeah. And that's what I often do. Because when you sit in silence, you hear everything coming from Source. And you are attached to Source, just as I am attached to Source, because that's what fuels our existence. It's not an outside force. It is your inner fuel of life. And when you can stay true to that, and you can love what fuels you in perfect design, and love all it can do for you, and love what your creative power is, well, then you make the most out of it every day. It doesn't matter what you got to live. There's nothing for me that can be rougher than what I've already walked. And because I've made it through all of that, and it has been as heavy as it's been, that now I don't walk with heaviness ever. No, because that's a choice. Everything that can happen to me will happen for my highest good. Just like it will happen the same for you if you allow it to. Yes, very much so. And right now, what's happening on the planet is actually for the highest good of all beings. It may not feel too good for some right now, but it's for the highest good of all things. Just like, sometimes people have to get really, really sick before they can get better because pushing themselves to that pain point helps them to fix it. It's crazy because I'm a walking testament of that. I had to be pushed to total organ failure, septic shock, dead kidneys, a liver that was failing, a heart that was going to explode. I was literally gurgling blood. Yeah. And I was told, you don't have a chance. But I've been told that my whole life. Well, I like to be the one that proves that Source gives us all the chance as long as we're breathing. There's no person better than another on the planet. There's no credential that's better than another on the planet. No, there's no bank account that is more wealthy than what Source gives you daily. And as long as you're tapped into the true wealth of knowledge and your power, you have it. And as long as you fuel it and channel it right through you, you remain in an overflow. You lack nothing because it all comes from within. And you use this energy to create. Well, when you stay true to that, everything and anything can happen. Just like loving yourself back to life like I had to. Time and time and time and time again. Am I worried about what's happening with me? Not at all. Like I said, I hold a certain frequency in this whole plane of existence. And I must just breathe. That's it. For the better of all. Why? Because it sounds crazy. You see all of those whopper energies hitting us on the grid and the Schumann resonance just bucking all out of sorts for the past 3 days? Well, now it's integration time. Because that just separated those who can hold the frequency and who can't. Now, those who cannot hold the frequency of what is hitting us, what happens? Misfiring. We're electrical beings first. And if you have a circuit of electricity that is running at 100 watts, well, you can't put 1,000 watts through it. It doesn't work. Well, this right now is what makes individuals obsolete to play the game. Now, what does that look like? They believe they're sick. They're locked in fear. They're drowning in shame. They're drowning in guilt. They're blocked up lying to themselves. They're in a constant state of delusion. Believing everything they've ever been told. Yeah. And shackled into a survival mode of their ego, because that is what the ego is constructed of. Survival. Fear is the basis of your ego. It keeps you away from your power and your truest nature. Why? Because you were taught it wasn't okay to be just that. But that's who you really are. And in this great time of change, you have to discard and purge that story of survival. Yeah. Because love is recalibrating existence for all. It's a corrective force. It's correcting everything in existence So therefore, it's correcting all the humans. It's correcting all the bodies. It's correcting all the vessels. It's correcting the flow of frequency for all. Financially, earthly, everything is being recalibrated right now. And nobody can stop it. And nobody can run from it. And everybody's affected by it. And actually, I believe, let me show you. Right here, this is big enough. All right, so this is what the grid has looked like May 8th, May 9th, May 10th, and we're now May 11th. Now, this, like I had mentioned weeks ago, the time in between the blasts are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. You can see that. See where the blue is? Well, the blue is when there's nothing amplified. And there's minimal green, because usually this is like blue with a little bit of green. Okay? And the frequency of it, this is between the biofield of Mother Earth. So this is from the Earth and the atmospheric pressure. It's our chamber we exist in. Nobody or nothing in existence can run from this light. Now, when everybody talks of source light, all right? Well, what's the easiest way to recalibrate your body? Is to visualize yourself as white light. And breathe it in, and you feel that white light rejuvenating everything. You want spiritual protection. You cover yourself in white light. Well, the white light that's hitting us is very evident and very visual to the grids. Now, what is that white light? Source love. Recalibrating. Bringing us back to our truest nature. What is that? The beings we were before survival. That's what's happening. And those that are too stuck, hanging on to defending their name, their story, their credentials, their script that everybody else wrote for them, well, they're not true to their heart, to themselves, or the source love that fuels them. Because they are love first. Every individual is love first. Well, this is what's separating the masses. The real loving ones and the ones who cannot hold love. Because it's not that they can't hold love, they're fueled by it, but they deny it for themselves. And you have to choose it for yourself to embody it. And you have to clear out everything that's unloving from your heart, from your ways, from your survival story, from every day you've ever lived. Fear dismantles this love. Why? Because it's not natural. There is no fear in this. There is no shame in this. There is no blame in this. There is no judgment in this. This is perfect design. Recalibration. Source bringing you back to your highest potential of who you truly are. Now, you either stand in that love and own that for yourself and your highest potential of it and recalibrate very smoothly in transition, or you become obsolete. Because we are in the age of light. We are moving into 1,000 years of peace. No matter what the tell-lie box is telling you all. The energies is running the show. Okay? Why do you think fear-mongering is up? Why do you think there's all kinds of talk about this bullshit lie of some virus at sea in a ship? It's all to make people paranoid, and they know what's happening on the grid. So they want to lock people into their house in depression, separate people, make people feel doom and gloom. Because it keeps them away from their highest potential. Just like when you hear about all the other lies. And believe them. Well, this is the news that everybody has to be watching. This is what really matters right now. And whether or not you can recalibrate with it or not. It's all that matters. Because now we're the 11th. And we've had another blast. And guess what? This is integration. You think that this can hit us and it doesn't affect us? Of course it affects us. How does it affect a human being who's not in alignment with the love that fuels them? Bodily pain. Anybody who's sick, ill, has a chronic disease, it's all amplified right now. Because this is cleaning up all humans that cannot be flowing in their highest potential of their being and standing in the truth of what they're truly made of. That's not your name. That's not your story. That's not your credential. And it certainly is not your bank account balance. It's where's your heart? Who are you underneath that story of your name? Or can you say your name as a loving individual? As a solid individual? As somebody that is righteous for all of those that are still in existence or not? Because that's all that matters right now. And yes, you can see, hold on, maybe you'll see it. My picture from Andrew Darlow, who's one of the group experts. I absolutely love this picture and I'm grateful for it. Yes, and it will stay on my wall all the time. As long as I'm breathing, I will have that picture. Yeah, because you know what? I was going through a really rough time. Yes, it was. When I was out there speaking and stuff, because, hey, look, this is not an easy battle, you know? But that picture brightened my day, very much so. And on that note, for the group experts, anybody who's a group expert in this group, you're pre-approved to post. What does that mean? I don't need to screen what you're posting. You're trusted. You're a group expert. Post your offerings. Why? Because people need the help right now. Right now, you're going to see a lot of people say, okay, I need change. And they're going to feel it. And they're going to take the steps to make it happen for themselves. Because they're going to realize that they can't live the way that they have been. Well, all of the group experts, I really would appreciate it if you shared your websites, your links, your webinars, anything that you guys are doing. Please share for all of those in the group. And anybody who would love to invite friends or people that you feel would need this kind of knowledge, bring them in. Because this is a place for everybody to be seen and know that it doesn't matter what they've lived. They can get through it by supporting themselves. There's 27 group experts in here right now. And anybody else who has anything, a wealth of knowledge to offer anybody in this group, please reach out to me. I will quickly add you as a group expert and pre-approve your posting. Why? Because it's not just about me in here. It's about anybody that can help another. You need to be known, you need to be seen, and you need to be posting what you have to offer in this group. Yes. As much help as we can offer the world right now, they need it. Yeah. But don't have any expectations. And don't try to save another right now. They have to come to you. They have to want the change on their own. You can't go out expecting people to change because they hear something. No. Cognitive dissonance right now is heightened too. Fear of change is heightened too. And this is what's truly separating the masses. But sometimes it takes just a loving environment, the right support, and people will want it for themselves. And I'm forever grateful I'm still doing the live meetups every Sunday night. because it was really hardcore, deep, in-depth change for the women that were at my meetup last night, because I walked them through something that I've never walked them through yet. But they were ready to. And boy, I've got chills and my hair goes up standing up just thinking about it. Yeah, that was real change. They were ready. And we all have invisible chains until we break them. And what are those invisible chains? Well, if you're resting, do you feel guilty about resting? Do you feel guilty about saying no to people pleasing? Do you feel like you live out of obligation and expectation of everybody else but your own heart? No, you can't do that right now. And this is why the people, those who want change, are going to be there, and they're going to apply the change. They're going to apply the knowledge, and they're going to be open to it. But these are the people who need the support. Big time. And I know, and I have confidence that every single person that is a badged expert in this group has something very, very, very dynamic to offer. Yes. Or you wouldn't be listed as a group expert. And anybody else who would love to jump on board as an expert, please let me know. Because there's a lot of great people in here that are not badged as experts that I would love it if they were. And sharing and posting. And I'm so grateful for the ones that are constant in doing that. Like Sarah Dawkins is an expert in here, and I have to salute her because she's always posting her stuff in here. Always, 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 always. And Kara Wilson, always another one, a group expert that's forever sharing their stuff in here, and I'm eternally grateful for it. And I hope that those that don't know these people, you get to know them. Yes. Sarah Dawkins, Heal Yourself podcast. I was on her podcast. She's an award-winning coach and has an award-winning podcast. And I'm so grateful and eternally grateful that I got to share on her podcast. Yes. Kara Wilson, taking care of business. Listen, her group. Yes. Look, you guys, seek out these group experts. If you see a group expert beside their name, it's because I trust what they do. Yes, very much so. And I've pre-approved their posting. I don't need to see it. Anybody else who posts in here that aren't pre-approved or a group expert, I don't even look at the posts. No, I don't. If you want to be an expert and you want your posts to be freely posted, you reach out to me. Because now's the time. I've been warning people about this time for over 2.5 years now. I intentionally, with other Earth Angels activated, shifted the Schumann resonance. I was launching commands into the Schumann resonance and saw the results of them scientifically. I have all scientific data. I have it all time stamped, plus all of the effects. I know what's going on here. And this is why I come out here and I encourage you all to let go of the fear, let go of the shame, let go of the blame, the guilt, the judgment, the anxiety, the worry. All of that shit is learned behavior. It is not of your natural state. Lying to yourself and lying to others is not of your natural state. Before you believed your name and your story of compliance to whatever religion, whatever traditions, whatever people-pleasing that you had to live up to, has to go. Everything after that. You got to clear out your vessel. Because you were loved first. When you were born and you grew and you crawled and you walked, you were of your natural state. You weren't scared to do any of that. Look how many times your parents had to tell you, don't do something, you're going to hurt yourself. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Listen, your parents made you fearful. Fear does not exist in the natural habitat of your being. No, it doesn't. That's why you have an instinctual brain. You don't have to think about it. Fear is learned. It is man-made. Just like every other one of these emotional reactions that you've been convinced exist. And they don't. They don't. The only truest emotional reaction that you can have is crying. That means that it touched your soul. And you cry for all kinds of reasons. When you're overjoyed, when you're sad, when you're frustrated, when you're about to blow your stack. It's all the same feeling. If you sit with yourself and you analyze it and you challenge it. Like, why do you react the way you do? Why do you get triggered? It's not your triggers. You learn to get pissed off and react like that according to how your parents did it. According to how your aunts and uncles and family and everybody else taught you to be. It's not really who you are. Well, these energies are forcing you to go back to who you really are. It's as simple as that. So who are you? You're safe and secure as an individual to breathe. Remember how you jumped out of bed as a kid? Excited for life? What are we going to do today? It's a new adventure. Well, that's the same way you got to spring out of bed now. Yes, exactly. Very much so. Knowing you have that creative power to do everything and all and love life, a child jumps out of bed loving life until they are conditioned out of that state. Yeah. By circumstance, trauma, like their environment. You're safe and secure to be you. You're magically powerful of creation and you love to create. Ask your kid to create anything and they're right on it. Yeah, sure, let's do it. They know they have the willpower to do anything and all. That's how come they fall off of shit and get right back on. It's the parents that are, and inducing those fear reactions. And a child, the easiest thing for a kid to do is love. Even love the people that treat them like shit. I know I did. And kids say the darndest things because they speak the truth until that's silenced in them. Well, now it's not the time to be silencing yourself, not loving yourself, not loving everything in existence, and not believing that you have the willpower to do all and everything. Because that's who you truly are. That's the real you underneath it all. You're not disillusioned. Nah, as a kid when you were in that state, you think you believed all the shit you do now? No way. Everything that you buckled onto a belief since that took you away from your power. Now it's time to get rid of those invisible chains. Yeah. And stand in the truth of who you are. And who is that? Your love first. Your love first. That's your most natural state. Everything else after that, being angry, being sad, being fearful, being full of anxiety and depressed, it's all learned. It's all learned behavior. Well, teach yourself better now. Unlearn that shit. And that's what you have to do. You have to take a real solid look at the things that you believe as an individual, the things that you do, the things that you react to, your triggers. What are you really scared of? Not having enough? Not having enough of what? The minute you're breathing, you have enough and all. You can do anything. But what do you do with your days? Do you look back at your day and really sit with yourself and say, oh, I loved my day. I loved my experience. I loved my discovery of my day as a brand new individual? Because you've never lived today as you've defended yourself to be for years. Nobody stays the same every day. But are you changing with the times or are you becoming obsolete? Because that's a choice too. And some people just choose not to get it right because people feeling sorry for them is better than the change. I have to say it. Yeah, that's why people stay stuck in patterns and poor me pity parties because they love the attention it gets them. That's the only way they get any attention. So therefore, that's why they do it. Me, I don't want anybody to pity anything when it comes to me. I'm a fucking warrior. I've been through the darkest of hells. Ran the gauntlet every day of my life. You don't know what a gauntlet is? Look it up. But yeah, I've run the gauntlet all my life. So what's happening right now to me? Please, I'm not worried about it because Source is here to fix all shit. Everything. And if you can't stand in your source power of who you are, well, you're getting wiped out by it. I have no opinion to it. And there's nothing that's good or bad. It's all an experience. So, do I care? Actually not. And I'm honestly can't wait until all the poison is purged off this planet. All of it. Because this perfect design of love is here to purge all the poison. The parasitic beings, the parasitic ways, the low density ways of fear and shame and guilt and judgment and grief and blame and lies and illusions and ego is over with this. And if anybody's standing in fear, shame, blame, guilt, denial, blocked up, you cannot hold this frequency. It's like you're operating at a 50-watt light bulb and the planet is surging at 100 watts. Huge discrepancy. Well, people that are used to that 50-watt light find the 100-watt a little too bright. Well, that's what's going to happen now. People say when they see me all the time in face-to-face interactions, even complete strangers, you glow. I don't know what it is. You glow. I can see around your body. You are glowing. I've had many strangers come up to me, even recently, and say, do you know that you glow? And I'm like, I stay quiet. I just stay quiet because what I would respond to that, it would be sarcastic and it would probably hurt their feelings. So I just stay quiet and I put a little smirk on my face because I know I glow. I've hit the gold at the end of the rainbow. How could I not glow? I know that. So for me, it's not abnormal. But I've been told that for years. Well, yeah, because I've been holding the light for years. So, but I just give it a smirk. Like, yeah, because strangers, when I go into a shopping mall, when I go into a store, when I go into any place, first of all, my energy is like a magnet. It pulls people to me. So if I pull into a drive-through that is empty, within a minute, there's like 10 cars behind me. Yes, that's just the way it happens. When I go into a store that's empty, well, very quickly it fills up. Yes. Because of my energy. Why? Because I admit healing and love and the highest form of it. So it attracts to me all that need that because they are seeking it and can't own it within themselves. So I know my rightful role. I know that when I walk around in this existence, I am literally doing energy dialysis for every individual I interact with, I cross paths with, every house I walk by. I'm flooding that house with love. Sounds crazy to some, but I know the magnitude of my energy and how big my biofield really is. And it keeps expanding every time we get whopped by these energies. So my energy keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And my energy keeps going more and more and more. And this is why I tell you all, I don't worry about what's going on in my face. It's all an illusion here anyway. When I tell you that there is nothing but love on the other side, I'm very serious about that. And this is why it doesn't matter if people can hold this frequency or not, because they're going back to love anyway if they can't. So they have a choice. They can either embody love or they can go back to it. And as far as I'm concerned, it's everybody's personal choice. But there is no pity. There is no feeling bad. There is no people pleasing. There is no out of purpose in perfect design of source. No, there isn't. I'm not here to please another. I'm here to please my maker. The one who gave me life, the one who sustains my life, the one who actually is keeping me going no matter what. That's where my loyalty lies. With New Earth, with a healed Earth, with an Earth that everybody is embodied who they really are, and that is the love that's fueling them. Well, I'm on Team New Earth, and I breathe with intention. And everybody right now, you need to rid and discard everything that's unloving. Everything that feels unloving. Everything that is unloving to yourself and others. You have to give yourself that grace. If there's any grudges you're hanging on to, fix it. Because those are holes in your heart that you need to mend. Oh, yeah. And you know, you don't have to connect with people to mend your heart. You know, a great way to rid your heart of all the things that you feel like you've got unfinished business with? Sit down with yourself and finish up that business. Yeah. Intentionally. Writing it out. You got to put it somewhere. It's been on your heart. You got to take it off your heart and put it somewhere to get it out of your being. Literally. It's not just write it down and journal. No, you got to get it out of your body and you got to put it somewhere so that you can see it from peripheral vision and data. So your logical brain can see it for what it is and not accept that for yourself. There's a real method to it. Everybody's had a kick about, oh, okay, well, mirror talk. Haha, that feels funny. Oh, haha. Look at what she says. Ha ha ha. Oh, yeah. That's the quickest way to rewire your brain. And I'll tell you something. Go in the mirror and look at yourself. Dead in your eyes and tell yourself that you love yourself unconditionally and watch your own body buck. Right now, you have to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself on purpose with intention, you're getting wiped out by it. So you better make a choice for yourself, for your lineage, for your children, for your family, whatever it is for, but it better be for you first. Because this energy isn't playing with nobody. This was the 8th, this was the 9th, and this was the 10th, and now we're in heightened energies again. Today, we had blackouts. Let me show you. Let me show you the blackout in the grid today. Eight o'clock Eastern Standard Time this morning. You see this black spike through there? That's when the energies get so heightened that even the data collection shuts down. Okay? Schumann resonance and the Kumiana, so Italy and Russia, the energies get too much pressure, it's too intense, and it needs to shut the fuck off to recalibrate. Well, if this is what's happening with all of these data collection resources, you know how many people that shut the lights off for? That can't sustain the energy that we're getting hit by? And everybody could think I'm fucking nuts. And I've been warning people for 2.5 years about this. Well, this is the time that I've been talking about, where there's going to come a time where the energies are going to heighten so high that it's going to separate the masses. Those that are sleeping, and what are those that are asleep? They're asleep to their own power. The ones that are awake, they have awakened to the source love that fuels them That's what the difference is. Well, there's a real split in the masses right now. Those that are awake and can consciously love themselves back to life, and those that can't. And you have to be choosing you and the love that fuels you to love yourself back to life. It doesn't matter what you've lived. It doesn't matter what's happened in your life up until now. It doesn't matter about the story that you have told yourself and defended your whole life. It is time to hit delete on that shit that weighs your heart down, keeps you in fear, keeps you blaming yourself, judging yourself, lying to yourself, full of fucking disillusion, and barricaded by your own survival of your ego. It's time to discard all of that programming and do it quick. Because if not, your vessel will not be able to hold the truth of who you are. Because it is too clouded by the lies you've been telling yourself. How do you do this kind of work? You've got to sit with yourself and look at yourself. And how do you do that? What do you believe about yourself? A great way to really analyze is, what do you believe about money? What do you believe about money? Do you believe that money doesn't grow on trees? It's hard to come by? You got to work really hard to make money? You know what that is? All of those things that I just mentioned, it's a scarcity mindset that comes from fear. And you were taught to think that way. Well, you are the first abundance. So that is a lie. All of the lack, all of the scarcity, it's all lies. You are the first abundance. You are the truest wealth. Where you take your energy and you put it, you got to make sure you reciprocated back your same wealth. Yes. That's the equal give and take. But as long as you believe that money is hard to come by, it doesn't grow on trees, you got to work hard to get it, you're in a scarcity mindset. You don't believe that there's enough and you don't believe that you're abundant. Okay? But you are. And you can create anything that you want in this life. Even a hefty bank account if you want it. You can do anything. What do you think about, what do you believe about religion? Is that your core basis of your operating system? Because religions induce fear. What do I mean? Well, if you don't act like this, you're not going to go to heaven. If you don't act like that, you're a sinner. Oh, if you don't do this, well, this is going to happen. It's all fear. All of it. All of it. Love doesn't contain fear. We're loved unconditionally for this experience and fueled by love. So there's a discrepancy there to your system, to your truth. What do you defend? Do you defend your name and your story before you defend the truth of your power flowing through you? Because the only truth that's flowing through you in perfect design is your power. Literally. Now you got to be able to stand in that. And you got to be able to speak in that. And that's why, you know, a lot of people say, oh, she's aggressive, she's this. No, I'm not. I'm solid in truth. And I don't give a shit. I'll say it. I'll speak it. I don't care. Who am I trying to please? Nobody on the fucking planet ever tried to please me. Who am I trying to please? With staying silent for everybody else to be in a peaceful state. Actually, not even, because they don't even know what the fuck peace is, half of them. No. No. As long as you're feeling fear, as long as you're feeling you're not accepting yourself, you're judging yourself, you're blaming yourself, that is not loving yourself. And you got to be in the state of love right now. Because it's love that's hitting the planet. Heavy for recalibration. And I come out and I'm truthful with it. And yes, I know what's happening. Yes, because a lot of people believe one person can't influence the whole grid. Actually, I have, and I have the scientific proof to back it, and I don't have anything to prove to anybody, really. That's why I don't talk about it. But I have all the scientific proof to back it. Everything that I've done on the grid. Yeah. With the Schumann resonance spikes to prove it. And when I launch commands, well, the spikes that we're seeing right now on the grids, well, that's how the grid was reacting to my commands that I was launching. Yeah, from the park and from grounding and by the water and from the point outside of the hospital that I was born with my feet in the ground. Yeah, my exact entry into the planet. Yeah, people don't need to realize. And I don't need to tell them. But I will tell you all one thing. You have to defend what's the truth of your existence right now. And it's not your name, and it's not your story. And it's not all the people that you put before yourself. And it's not all the obligations and expectations. No, it's time to love yourself back to life. On purpose, with intention. Yes. Because the flip side is that you become obsolete and you won't play the game for much longer. That's all it is. It's a game. Well, the rules of the game have changed. Yes. With this energy, the rules of the game have changed. When we get blasted like this, and we have been for months, the rules have changed. And that's why people who are sick, it's amplified now. If they don't choose to heal, they're choosing their exit. So, anything that is happening with any one of you, now it's time to step up and stop playing with your own existence. Because these energies don't discriminate. They amplify whatever you choose for yourself. So what does that look like? If you choose to say, I'm sick, oh boy, you're going to really feel sick. You choose to say, there's something wrong with me? Oh, there's really going to be shit wrong with you. If you lack the self-awareness to speak the truth of your existence, you are going to feel the consequences of your choices right now. And nobody can run from it. And this is why I encourage all of you to get right with yourselves. Anything that does not make you feel right, does not explode your heart, you need to let it go. It doesn't matter the person, the place, the thing. You've got to stop making excuses for yourself and other people who can't get it right. If people cannot be loving individuals, cut ties. If you cannot be a loving individual, it is time to get right with that. And who do you got to be a loving individual to first? Your own ass. You cannot love another individual if you're not loving yourself right. So now is the time to do it. These energies are not playing with anybody. And I encourage y'all to stop playing with your existence. You're either loving yourself back to life right now, or you're loving yourself into the ground. There's no in between. No, not at all. This is why I encourage you all to get in the mirror. Get in that mirror. Look yourself dead in the eye. Connect with your soul. Your eyes are the window to the soul. That's the fastest way to rewire what you believe about yourself. Get in the mirror, look at yourself. You tell yourself all of those amazing things that you need to hear. You know, I'm telling you, when I had my great niece with me, and I had her doing morning mantras, I didn't realize how effective they were at that time. I didn't realize how neural networking of the brain worked. I didn't realize how effective that is. And you know, to this day, I'm forever grateful that I had that time with her and that I was able to install that into her neural networking. Yeah. I encourage all of you to get in that mirror. Tell yourself that you are amazing and that you are smart and you are capable and you have everything that you need as long as you're breathing. The more you say it, the more you're going to believe it, the more it's going to feel comfortable in your own body. Listen, if you don't believe that stuff, your body's going to react, eh? Get in the mirror. Tell yourself all of the amazing things that you wish somebody would tell you. You don't need to depend on anybody to hear it. You need to go and gift yourself those things every day to be in your most powerful state right now. And anything that's coming up on your heart, memories, things that don't feel good, you need to write them because you need to put them somewhere. They've been stored in your body. So it's like when you're throwing up something, well, you're not just going to puke it all over the place. You're going to find a bucket or a pail or a toilet. Well, it's the same kind of concept when it's these memories coming up and something sitting on your heart that doesn't feel, you got to write it out. You got to put it somewhere. Well, that's very, very effective. And the more you dump, the more lighter you get. Yes. Take a look at the things that you believe about yourself. Make 2 lists. Things I like about myself and I don't like about myself. And really look at that. All of those things that you don't like about yourself, why? Who taught you not to like that about yourself? And when you ask yourself, your heart, why do I feel like this about myself? Your body's going to show you who planted that in you. Yeah. And that's when you take that experience and those words and you intentionally give it back. That's not my belief system. I'm old enough to know better. I may have accepted that when I didn't know better, but I know better now. There is nothing wrong with me. That was one of the hardest things that I had to do for myself. I was made to believe that I was a problem my whole life. I was treated like people hated me all my life. Well, I quickly grew to hate myself. And I had all the reasons why I didn't like myself and my experience. Well, when I did the work and I really looked at that shit, that wasn't me at all. No, that was me being told all that shit before I was even in school. Before I even was learning how to write, I believed that I was a fucking problem. Okay? That's not me. That's everybody making me believe that. Well, that's what I accepted. Well, I had to deconstruct that or I'd still be like that. And you know, hating myself and hating my existence kept me on drugs, kept me drinking, kept me all fucked up. And very justified too. Going, fuck it, I want to die anyway. This fucking existence sucks. That was me. I don't give a shit. I'm leaving this planet. Let me go out high. Well, you do go out high naturally anyway with the DMT when you die. It's the biggest hallucinogenic that is made by the brain before you die. You don't feel your death. No, it's actually a magical experience. Yeah. Well, every time you felt trauma and every time you felt everything else that you carry, your body produced DMT to numb you too, to feel that. And that's why it's been so easy to get through it. Because every time you've been traumatized or hurt, your body has created DMT and a piece of your soul slipped out. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to fix the vessel, love yourself back to life, and call all of those parts of your soul back that were fragmented across time and space and in all of these traumatic places. You got to go back to the trauma. Take your power back from all of the trauma, all of the pain. Seems like a lot to do, but if I can do it, anybody can. And that's why I talk about it. That's why I come out here and I empower and I encourage people. Because if you only knew the depth of everything I've ever had to live, you wouldn't believe half of it. And I'm still here to talk about it. And I'm not brain dead either. Usually the amount of drugs and alcohol and life that I've lived, people are brain dead by now. No, well, that's the proof and the testimonial of the highest potential flowing through me. And that's not coming from me. It's coming from source. Same thing that's hitting this planet. Well, of course I'm going to stand in the truth of it. It keeps me strong. Well, it will keep all of you strong during this time of change too. But if you're not speaking the truth, the consequences of that, you got to speak the truth to yourself. You're smart. You're strong. You're capable. You're amazing. There's nothing more powerful than the power of your soul. There's nothing that's good or bad. It's all an experience. And while you're looking at whether it's good or bad, you're missing the lesson. You're missing the learning. You're missing your own level up by having an opinion. Having an opinion is learned too. Look at all the things you could witness as a kid in your purest state. Nah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Well, that's the state you need to be in. And I encourage y'all, any group experts that are in here that are pre-approved to post, please share your offerings for all. Anybody who wants to be a group expert to share what they have to offer with this amazing bunch of over 350 people now, please do it. Also, invite your friends, invite your people. Everybody could use a little help right now because everybody is feeling it. Now, people will be able to mask it a little better than others, as they always have been, but not for me. I can read down to somebody's soul. Yes, I can. I can feel your energy. I can tell you exactly what's blocking you. I can listen. But do I course correct for anybody who doesn't want it? No. You got to ask me for the course correction, and I'll give it to you. But unless you free willingly ask me, I am not allowed to course correct you. No, I'm not. Because it takes away from your learning and from your soul contract. But if you really want the freedom that I've acquired from destruction, it's very easily attainable. Because it's loving yourself back to life with your own highest potential. And each and every one of you can do it if I can. Okay? And that's why I have owned Tobi. Tobi. That's all I have to be in this world. Well, that's all you have to be too. Is yourself. It's your true self. Your loving self. The loving self that you started this game off as. Well, now it's time to step up in that character suit in your highest potential. Love yourself back to life. And finish out the rest of the game properly, because there's others that need you. Yeah. And that's why you've survived up until now. I love y'all. Have a great night. Peace.